Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you clicked on this video, you probably saw the title. Should you go on a Disney cruise to Alaska? All right, now let's start here. Should you go on a cruise to Alaska? Yes, absolutely, 1000%. Everybody should go on a cruise to Alaska. Bucket list item, yes, 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 do it. All right, second half of the question. Should you go on a Disney cruise? My opinion, yes, absolutely, 1000%. They're the best, so much fun, everyone should go. But when we put the two together, should you go on a Disney cruise to Alaska? You would think then the obvious answer is, of course, yes. However, in my opinion, there's one item that makes it a maybe. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good things about a Disney cruise in Alaska. A lot of these I will get into later in this video. However, there's one thing that is a huge downside of a Disney cruise in Alaska, and it is that Disney does not go to Glacier Bay. Glacier Bay is one of the most unique, beautiful, picturesque, just amazing places on Earth. And Disney Cruise Line does not have the rights to go to Glacier Bay. I believe there's 3 mainstream cruise lines that do. I know Holland America, Princess, and Norwegian all go there. There might be another one. If so, let me know in the comments below if I missed one. And then I'm sure some of the more boutique, like National Geographic types, I'm sure they go there too. But Disney does not have the rights to go into Glacier Bay. And Royal Caribbean doesn't either. So they're not unique in that necessarily, but it is just a huge bummer that they can't go there. I've been on an Alaska cruise twice. I went with my parents in 2015 on a Norwegian cruise that went to Glacier Bay. And then we did a Disney cruise that did not go to Glacier Bay. My husband didn't come the first time when I went with my parents. And so the Disney cruise was his first time in Alaska. And I just really feel like he got robbed of the full Alaska experience because he didn't get to go there. So now this is back on our list of something we need to go and do again and make sure we go on a cruise that hits Glacier Bay so that he gets that experience. Like I said, I went to Glacier Bay on a cruise in 2015. So my pictures and videos I have from this trip are not super high quality. So here's a picture that I took of the glacier just from the cruise ship deck during the Glacier Bay day. And as you can see, this was probably taken on an iPhone 5 or something, but it is just absolutely one of the most magnificent things I've ever seen in my entire life. The ship spun around throughout Glacier Bay. You know, it's just this picturesque location, and you see the glacier breaking off. There's seals on the glacier, different animals, the park rangers explaining everything that you're seeing. It is just absolutely fabulous. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm looking at a Disney cruise and they have a glacier day as well. And they do. And the one that we went on, the glacier day, was at Dawes Glacier. I think they might go to a couple different ones, but it was absolutely, completely disappointing after going to Glacier Bay on a previous cruise. As you can see here, this is what the Dawes Glacier Day looked like. Pretty much just some ice in the water. Now, I do think that they sometimes are able to get closer to the glacier or something. I think there's more of a glacier behind that bend over there, but there was so much ice in the water that they weren't able to get any closer or something like that. Again, it's not going to be anything like Glacier Bay when you get back. Disney did have an optional excursion where you could get off the main cruise ship and onto a smaller boat that was able to go back a little bit more and get a little bit closer. We didn't do that. I think if I was going to do it again, I definitely would, because if you stay on the ship, you really see absolutely nothing. But if you're there to see glaciers and that's what you want to see, you really just need to go to Glacier Bay and make sure you go on a cruise that goes to Glacier Bay, because the Glacier Day, in my opinion, on any other cruise is going to be disappointing unless you go to Glacier Bay. So you might be thinking, okay, if you're so adamant that the Glacier Bay is a must-do, whatever, why was this a maybe? And it's a maybe because everything else about the Disney cruise is so much fun. It is an absolutely amazing, amazing vacation. So I want to get into all of the things that are so much fun about the Disney cruise in Alaska. Okay, so first is the scenery. Obviously, this doesn't matter what cruise ship you're on, but just being in Alaska on a boat is so much fun. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Everywhere you look, there's mountains with snow on top and animals and whales in the water. Like, just the coolest stuff that like you'll never see anywhere else. I mean, at least nowhere near where I live in North Carolina. Just completely different landscape, gorgeous, beautiful. It's not hot. You're getting a break from the intense summer heat, especially if you live in the South like me. It's just refreshing. You can breathe, you're outside. It's gorgeous. Everything about Alaska in the middle of the summer is just fantastic. And with that being said, I feel like a lot of times when you hear about Alaska cruises, everybody says you have to get a balcony or nothing. You have to do it, you have to do it. Of course, if price is no object, why not? Of course, get a balcony, sure. But in my opinion, you don't need a balcony. When we did the Disney cruise, we had an ocean view room, and I thought that was it was fine. Now, we aren't really balcony people anyways. Even when we do have a balcony, we don't spend a ton of time just sitting out there. So if you're someone who frequently uses a balcony a lot, you love to just sit outside on your own private space for an extended period of time, then maybe a balcony is an absolute must for you. For us, we're perfectly fine just going up to the top deck and hanging out up there on the lounge chairs or, whatever. We don't necessarily need to be in our own private space. So for us, it's not a huge deal to just have a window in our room and then go up a deck or two to the top when we actually want to be outside. A lot of people are balcony or nothing when it comes to Alaska. They tend to be a big price jump up from an ocean view to a balcony room. And one thing to consider about Alaska is that excursions are also pretty pricey. So in my opinion, you can save a little bit of money on the room and put that towards doing some really fun, unique excursions in the ports. I think that's a better use of money. But again, your mileage may vary. If you're really, really a balcony person, then maybe don't give it up. But I just see a lot of things that say you have to have a balcony when you go to Alaska. And I don't necessarily agree with that because we really did not miss a balcony at all when we had our ocean view. So why should you do a Disney cruise in Alaska if Glacier Bay is a reason you shouldn't do a Disney cruise? Well, one, there's so much stuff to do on board and you tend to have a lot of time to do things on board. So I'm the kind of person, when I'm in the Caribbean or a warm weather destination, during the day, I want to be out at the pool. I love a Disney cruise with the funnel vision. I will sit out there all day at the pool, watching funnel vision, kind of, reading a book, whatever. That's what I do. I don't really go to any activities throughout the day in a Caribbean cruise because I like to be outside. I like to be at the pool. I like to swim. However, in Alaska, it's a little bit different. You have a lot more time on the ship where you're not gonna be, tanning because it's pretty cold out there. And the Disney cruises have a ton of activities throughout the day. There's always something going on. And we ended up doing so many things that I'm sure they have on every Disney cruise, but we've never taken the time to do it because we've been at the pool or whatever. But we did character drawing classes. We made like buttons that we could draw and kind of souvenir pins for ourselves. We made coasters, just so many different things. There's so many trivias and just an endless amount of activities throughout the day. And of course, if you have kids, they have the kids club. So they're gonna be there having a blast all day too. They're never gonna be bored and looking for something to do. And we were very pleasantly surprised that on the Disney Wonder, the pools were heated. When we went on the Norwegian cruise, they definitely had hot tubs, but the pools either were just closed or not heated, and no one was swimming in those pools. On the Disney Wonder, the pools were so warm. Obviously, the hot tubs were even warmer, and it was so much fun to be able to have that option to just go swimming when it's cold outside and there's like snow-capped mountains all around, but then you're in a warm swimming pool. So it really just made a unique experience, and again, just gave you another option of something to do while on the ship. And then, of course, one of the big selling points for a Disney cruise, at least with some of the people in my family, are the movies that they show on board. So they have those new release movies in the movie theater, and what better time to watch them than when you're on a cold weather cruise in Alaska. Again, you don't feel like you're missing out on like hours in the sun and outside if you're sitting in a movie theater, because it's not warm and sunny outside, it's cold, you know? So it's just a completely different feel and pace of the cruise, and you really have a lot of time and opportunity to take advantage of all of the really, really fun things on a Disney. Disney also does a really great job of theming for Alaska. And I'm sure it's because they're there for, 2 months, so it's worth their time to put a lot of effort into the theming. But everything from the character outfits, I mean, just like Mickey and his cute little fisherman outfit, they all have Alaska outfits that are just adorable, and you're not gonna see those on any other itinerary unless you go to Alaska. They also had themed food every night in the main dining rooms. My brother, I'm pretty sure, ordered fish 7 out of 7 nights when we were on that cruise. They had so many different, they were salmon, halibut, all of the kind of local type cuisine that just kind of made you feel even more immersed in Alaska. Now, in Alaska, they don't do the Pirates in the Caribbean deck party, and they don't have fireworks. However, they do have the Frozen, I think it's called Freezing the Night Away deck party with Elsa and Anna and Olaf. And normally I'm not a huge Frozen fan. It's just not my favorite. I think it's kind of overdone, honestly. But something about just being in the atmosphere, you look around and there's snow on the mountains, then they have the fake snow going on the ship. It's really, really fun. It feels immersive. It fits in with the theme. It's the cold weather, the snow, the ice, Alaska. It fits and it works, and it's so much fun. So, and coming from someone who was really not looking forward to the Frozen aspects of it, I really, really enjoyed it. And that's also the Broadway show that they have on that ship. And we have seen a few different versions of Frozen musicals on Broadway, whatever. And I was, again, not really looking forward to that. Of course, I was going to go, but it wasn't something I was really excited about when it came to that cruise. And it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It was done in a unique, creative way. It was a little bit different than any of the other versions of Frozen we had seen. It was really, really, really well done. So even if you're not a big, big Frozen fan, I think in Alaska, in this environment, it really, really works, and it adds to the overall experience, even if you're not like going crazy every time you see Elsa. And I'll just add, we've also done a Disney cruise to Norway, which is like where Elsa lives, and she was nowhere to be found on that ship. So they definitely do a much better job of theming and all of that in Alaska than they do in North Carolina. So the middle of the summer, it is hot. The heat is just unbearable. It's humid. If you're not in a swimming pool, you're gonna be drenched in sweat. It's gross. So there's nothing better than just getting a relief from all of that heat and going on a cooler weather destination kind of vacation in the middle of summer. So of course, this is not unique to a Disney cruise in Alaska. Any cruise in Alaska is gonna have the same weather, but just getting that change of pace in the middle of the summer is so nice and just such a refreshing, cool experience. And one of the things that we absolutely loved is that on the Disney cruise, they had free hot chocolate available by the Coke machines on the pool deck. I think it was like whenever the drink machines are open. So maybe 24 hours a day, pretty much all day. And I think we definitely probably drank our weight in hot chocolate that week on the Disney cruise. And then of course, you could wear these kind of cute Mickey hats I mean, who doesn't want to wear these super cute little Mickey hats in Alaska? I mean, come on. Does it get any cuter than this? This will be true no matter what cruise you go on. If you go on the Disney Wonder, it doesn't obviously have to be Alaska, but they have my favorite restaurant, Tiana's Place, on the Disney Wonder. So just another bonus, if you go on a Disney cruise in Alaska, it is on the Wonder ship. So you get that Tiana's restaurant experience, which to me is just 10 out of 10 dining experience. The food is good, the atmosphere is good, the entertainment is so much fun. Just a great overall experience dining at Tiana's on the Disney Wonder. Excursions, of course, don't matter what cruise line you're on. If you're on Disney or any other cruise line, you can obviously do excursions, but the things that you have the opportunity to do in Alaska are just so unique and so fun and so different from any other cruise that you can go on. The last time we were there, we went halibut fishing, and then we went whale watching, and then we went snorkeling in Ketchikan, which was a really unique experience. Definitely a little different from snorkeling in the Caribbean. What I'll leave you with is this. If you're going to Alaska as a once-in-a-lifetime bucket list item, you want to see all of the nature, all of the beauty, and really get the entire Alaska experience in a one-stop shop, you have to go on a cruise that goes to Glacier Bay. You just do. Find one of the other ones, the Holland America, Princess, Norwegian. Go on one of those that goes to Glacier Bay. You have to go there. You will not regret it. If you're maybe gonna do Alaska more than once, so maybe you'll do a Glacier Bay and something else, or you have little kids that you think may not really appreciate all of the natural beauty of Alaska and may need more of the Disney type entertainment to make sure they're having a good vacation, then maybe Disney is a better option. Disney is definitely not a bad option in Alaska, like you can tell. There was so many fun things on that ship. We had the best time. We do not regret it. However, it's just such a bummer that they don't go to Glacier Bay, because you really feel like you need to do another Alaska trip just to make sure you see everything there that you really want to see. Have you been on an Alaska cruise? What cruise line did you go on? And did you go to Glacier Bay? I'm super interested to hear if you have the same thoughts as me. Is Glacier Bay a must-do in your mind? Or would you rather have more of the Disney experience and skip Glacier Bay? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this kind of content, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.